Hello everyone, welcome back to What If Dean. Today is going to be what if Naruto was the magpie sage. Yeah. So all of the events are going to be the same up until Naruto turns 9. At which point he will find a injured magpie. He will find it and nurture it and nurse it back to health, full health, at which point said magpie will give Naruto the magpie summoning contract, teach him the summon thing, and then they're gonna reverse summoning to the magpie place. I don't know. I'm not creative enough to come up with a name, so essentially that's what's going to happen there. But after that, he's gonna meet the magpie boss, which is gonna be about their same relative size as Gumabunta. The same relative size as Gamabunta. Then Naruto's, and then we all know that Gamabunta had that have to stay on my head. Well, this one, it's a bit different, because he has to hold on to the boss magpie while they're flying. And the boss magpie is A, very fast, and B, can be a very wild flyer if he wants to be. He's usually not, but he can. He can easily, you know. And the magpies are not as strong as the toads, but their sage mode is stronger than Toad's sage mode. Like, the summonings are weaker, but the sage mode is stronger. Like, that's just how I'm gonna have that. And Naruto will, by the time he graduates the academy, I'll figure that out in time. But yeah, he's gonna befriend all of the magpies after passing the test of magpie. No, magpie. Give me a name for the boss. Oh, also the one he saved is gonna be magpie. Cause you know. And just so you guys know, magpies, for those of you who don't know, are kind of aggressive creatures during breeding season. Like, when it comes to breeding season, like, if there's all my Aussie, if I have any Aussie viewers, they know. I've never been to Australia. I've never even been attacked by a magpie, but I know that they are vicious during breeding season. So, like, yeah, like, I know to leave well enough alone with the magpies. Like, just get home. Like, during breeding season, like, the people, they don't stay outside very much. But yeah, magpies are pretty aggressive. Oh, and the boss, it's gonna be about the same height as Gumabunta. Gonna be like twice the length, cause like it's a bird, and it's gonna have like let's say I'd say it's gonna be like a 100-foot wingspan, just for the sake of, like, it has to be like, it doesn't matter. Just imagine a really big bird. That's all you gotta worry about. And he's gonna slowly befriend most of the magpies that live there. There's like, and he's gonna their aggressiveness during like their kind of aggressiveness when during breeding season is gonna kind of it's gonna wear off on them slightly. When whenever he gets whenever he gets kids, he's gonna be a bit aggressive and during his woman's pregnancy and like a year or two afterwards. Like or a few months afterwards. Like after that, he's gonna calm down, go back to his normal self, and yeah, we already know it's gonna be Narato X Hinata, like, cause no, and I'm gonna say Hinata is gonna take her training, do a bit more training since she can't really follow Naruto to the wherever he's going. Like she doesn't know, but like she realizes that sometimes he'll just disappear when she's watching him. Like she'll be watching through a wall or something, and then he's just gonna poof and be gone. And then later he'll be. So she'll take training. She'll do more training and be stronger than she is in canon to start off with. But like, you know, that's how I'm gonna have that. And I'd say the magpies are kind of like were one of the summonings of the Uzumaki clan. 'Cause, like, I'd say that the magpies were pretty good with the Uzumakis. Like, they weren't like, you're an Uzumaki, you get a magpie summoning automatically, but like, it's kind of like, hey, you're an Uzumaki, I'm a magpie. That's, you know, I kind of like your family. Like, that's how it pretty much is. Like, hey, I like your family. I wonder if I'll like you. Let's find out. That's kind of where that's at for them. And then, oh, yeah, I just started ranting. So yeah, then Naruto's he's not gonna be bottom of the class anymore because the magpies are gonna teach him, and they're gonna teach him about proper dieting because like they realize that, hey, we don't eat the same things you guys eat, but like, come on, man, like, we can tell you don't eat the way a human eats. Like, you don't eat properly. They can just like, so they're gonna, so, they'll find like, cause like I'd say that one of their previous summoners or something, they knew how to cook, so cook human food, and they left a few scrolls with in the magpie dimension thing, and essentially gonna be like, so they're gonna be like, gonna teach Naruto how to cook using these cookbooks essentially, and teach him about proper human like dieting. So he's gonna be like 5. I'd say he's 5 inches taller than he was in canon originally. 3 inches. 3 inches taller. Wonder if I'd get taller if I ate properly. Anyway. Which, by the way, you guys, like, I am 5'5". Like, I am the height of the average Asian male. No, like, really, like, and, like, my dad's about a head and shoulders above me. So I'd say he's, like, 5. So I'd say he might be, like, almost 6, not 6 feet tall, but, you know, like, maybe 5'10", or, like, or 5'11", maybe 6 feet, I don't know. But that's not the point. The point is that there is no point. Life is meaningless. We will all die. No, but like, Yeah. So he's gonna be significantly stronger in this than he was in canon. And I'd say that the magpies teach him some wind release, like because like that's one of the things the magpies do because they're birds and they fly. So like wind release, that they're gonna teach him some wind jutsus, like, and just stuff like that. One of them, I'd say that there's one of them that knows a little bit of fire, not much. Like he under, hmm. I'd say that there's one that is able to turn like the very edges, like the very ends of his talons on fire. Or like so make it like it's the temperature of red hot metal, but just the talons, they don't catch on fire. And he's gonna teach that to Naruto to do with his fingernails. And it doesn't hurt them when they use this, but it'll hurt if you get hit by it because you're getting cut by red hot metal essentially. I mean, it's not metal, but like still you know, it's no, it's orange hot. Like there's cherry red, but this is an orange hot. When it comes to steel, anyway, it doesn't. It. I'd say it essentially just it into like red hot steel, like orange hot steel. Yeah, that's how that happens. So, and this is one of the smaller magpies that knows this, cause like, and teaches it to him. Like, it's about twice the size of a normal magpie. Which like magpies, they're like a foot long and have a 2 foot wingspan for like in real life. So this is a 4 foot wingspan, 2 feet long. But, and he also has like a one that's a bit smaller than normal that likes to rest on his shoulder because I just want to do that. Like, and he has leather leather bracers on his arm so that it can just kind of rest on his arm without really having to worry about hurting Naruto. But and he's also gonna have like just little leather deals on his shoulders as well, just and you know just a hand. And those are the two that are gonna be the closest. That's one he's gonna be closer to. Like they like to hang out. Like he's gonna be friends with all of them, but that's the one he's closest with. Like like you know, like most of them. Like for most of them, hmm, for most of them, it's they just kind of tack welded. Like the relationship is kind of like two chains that were tack welded together for most of them. But for this one, it's like they were forge welded together. So that's about how close these their relationship. The chains were like actually combined instead of like instead of like just tick tick tick. But these like they actually just attached the chains completely. Like they interwove the chain and just connected them. Like put another link in between them to like just connect them. So you essentially just took two chains and made one long chain. You know, I'm ranting again. And yeah, so I'd say that he does better. I'd say he also gets taught. I'd say he also gets taught magpie taijutsu. And yeah, which require and magpie taijutsu. It's a kunai taijutsu, in which case you have like essentially take three or four kunais, and place them in your fingers, kind of like Wolverine, and just slash at your opponent with them. Like, because I think that's I think doesn't matter. That's kind of how he's gonna fight with most. Like if he has the option to use that, he will, but otherwise he'll just yeah. Otherwise, he'll just use Academy Taijutsu. Because like he's gonna learn Academy Taijutsu as well, but the Magpie Taijutsu is what he kind of he has a specific liking towards it, just because of how it's kind of wild, and it's just really quick and brutal. You know. So let's get on to the graduation test. Naruto is I feel like the magpies are going to teach him feather clones, which are essentially clones made out of feathers. And these feathers, and like some of the feathers, and these feathers have the ability to cut. Like getting grabbed by one of his clones can lead you pretty cut up. But it's a choice whether or not it cuts. And they also have the option to just straight up kamikaze and just send essentially just blades of feather blades everywhere. And it's essentially shadow clones, but you don't get the memories. That's essentially what it is. They use a bit less chakra, but not by much. And they're gonna teach him magpie jutsus and all that. They might even teach him beak kenjutsu, in which case you use a lot of thrusts in this specific, because it's kind of like the bird's beak, so you're just thrusting a lot. Yep, should not have said that. Should not have said that. That could be taken out of context real easy. Oh boy. Well, no matter. And I'd say that. Oh, yeah. So then off to the. Something wrong with my voice. I'm recording this at 12:28 a.m. Alright. Alright, now let's go. Alright, now let's go. And and something I've never really understood about the clock. So 12 is the top number. Why not have 1 the top number? Like then it'd be 1 at the very top and then going around. So then the moment it strikes, so we don't, because then 12:28 a.m. Like, because it wouldn't be like that. And then after that, it's gonna be alright. Then after that, so, yes. And then he's gonna pass the Genning test. Like, the guy's gonna be like, yeah, I can't really trick Naruto into stealing. So he's gonna go to some random that didn't pass. It doesn't matter. Someone that's not that smart. And he's just gonna be like, hey. He's gonna go through all that, but it's gonna be with someone else instead of Naruto. And then the whole team 7, cause like the magpies, they were like, hey, you can prank people in the in like the that world, but don't pull any pranks in here, like, cause like that just causes trouble for us, and you know, could you not? He's still gonna pull pranks, but not in the summoning realm. He's not gonna pull pranks in the summoning realm, because like he can get kicked out at any time, really. Like the magpies, they have complete control over their middle realm. But magpies magpies are extremely smart. Extremely. Like, they are some of the smartest animals on Earth. Like they're able to understand, like they're able to use tools. Like, because they're a part of the corvid family, and that's one of the smartest of all the. That's some of the smartest animals on the planet. They don't compare to humans yet, but well, oh jeez. Then after that, I would say, Alright, so he's gonna be. I'm gonna give him the ability to sprout wet feather wings out of his back, like wings made out of feathers. No skeleton structure, no muscle. It's just feathers, and he can use these to fly. You know, kind of like the suit that no. Forget it. And yeah. Oh yeah. Wait, does that kid only have one leg? Oh, that poor soul. Ugh. Oh yeah, like the Susano, the winged Susano. It's gonna have wings. His wings are gonna be like that. They're gonna be made out of feathers, and they're gonna look like the wings up here on the magpie right there. But they're just gonna be made out of feathers. No bone, no muscle, nothing. Just feathers. And he can throw these feathers kind of like daggers or kunai. So if he spins, if he has these things out, he can just create these feathers and use them as kunai. But with his wings activated, he can just spin really fast and just shoot these things everywhere. Because like, these things are razor sharp. Like, they're sharper than most kunais. And they're ever so slightly serrated. Like, they're serrated to the point where if you were to just leave one, no, they're not serrated, but they are, you know. Huh. And there are two ways to use them. You can use them like a kunai, or you can use them like a sinbon. Just depending on which way you throw them or sling them or whatever. Like the whole like launching them from the wings, those can only be thrown like kunai. But if he just summons some in his hand, he can throw them like sinbons, like with task, you know. And these things, he can make them. They can be kind of dense, like they can be dense as steel, and be thrown like just a normal sinbon or kunai. But they're a feather. And I'd say he also, yeah, I'm not gonna give him Sage mode just yet. But then the that whole meet me on the roof. The whole thing, it says not everything goes the same except Naruto. And that's because I'm going to change a few things. It's all the same. It's pretty much going to be the same, except I'm going to be adding that he wants to... I'm going to... He says that he wants to... He wants to... yeah, it's pretty much just the same, except like he wants to master... There are some techniques he wants to master. This will... Again, like some of the other stuff, this will make Kakashi's ear twitch, but he won't pay any mind. Like, it won't make his ear twitch, but like, okay, this kid's got stuff or something. Everything else is the same. And I'd say that the magpies taught him how people are supposed to be, and he's not gonna like Sakura in this. So like when it goes to things he doesn't like, he's gonna look at Sasuke and Sakura. But like he's gonna look directly into their eye, look through their eyes into their soul. Like that's how he's gonna look at them. And like Kakashi's gonna be like, oh boy, why did I get this group? Like he's gonna realize, oh no, I got emo with an ego, fangirl, and however you could describe Naruto, like, So, yeah. Sorry if I make you yawn at any point through this, but I would just like to say that I need sleep, but I need sleep, but I will not sleep because sleep is for the weak. So to the bell test. Like, Naruto's gonna be like, I don't like you guys don't like me. We're stuck together. Let's at least like try to make it bearable, and so we can work together and get out of this as quickly and get away from each other as quickly as possible. And like Sasuke and Sakura's gonna be like, yeah, that sounds like a plan. You're gonna be like, hey, I don't like you, you don't like me. Let's try to make it bearable for each other and work together. Like, I'm gonna make him significantly stronger, but I'm not gonna be making him OP. Like, he has a lot of different things, and he doesn't like to show his magpie techniques, just because he likes, like, because he wants to keep those secret unless he needs them. Like, he'll show his feather, like, he'll show his feather kunai, but that's about it. That's all he shows. Like, he doesn't show anyone else anything else. Like, he doesn't show it to anyone. And I'd say that the magpies and the foxes are going to be like, they're not going to be cool with each other, but they're not going to hate each other. Like, listen, Kurama is trapped inside of one of our guys. Like, I'd say he's told, like, he finds out about Kurama being sealed inside of him. Like, maybe, like, one of the magpies was able, like, there's maybe that one of the magpies was friends with one of the members of the Fox clan or Fox summonings or whatever. Like, one of the magpies was friends with the fox, and he's like, and he's gonna be able to tell that the Nine Tails is inside of this kid. Like he doesn't notice it immediately, but like after a while, he like, yeah, like that kid, yeah, he's got something sealed inside of him. I do not know what it is, or who it is, even. Maybe. All I know is that there's something sealed. There's something or someone trapped inside of him, but removing it would kill the kid, so, like, we're not gonna do that. So they're gonna teach him, like, hey, like, try to... They're gonna teach him how to enter his mindscape. He's gonna do that. And you know the whole, like, talk... And he's gonna talk to Kurama, and, like, he's gonna give the same thing. I don't like you, you don't... Like, we're stuck together, might as well try to work... We're stuck together, let's at least try to work together. Like, we're stuck together until one of us dies. In which case, both of us die if one of us dies. So, we're stuck together until we die. Let's at least try to make it beneficial for while we're together. And he's gonna say one thing right there. And someday in the future, I'm gonna do some stuff. And I would like you to close your eyes during a few specific events. And that's all, and that's pretty much what he said. No, he doesn't say that. But there's stuff behind it, but he's not going to say that. At least not yet. Yeah, so, bell test. Back to the bell test. I bounce all over the place, sorry about that. But yeah, back to the bell test. They're going to work together, create a plan. Like, Narato's going to use his feather kunai to... I'd say, yeah. He's going to use his feather kunai to throw at Kakashi. And he's going to put a little bit of wind chakra to make him go a bit faster. I'd say that the feathers move slightly faster than normal kunai, just in general. Just because of the way that, like, they're made specifically for speed, since, like, they don't have to be thick, like a normal kunai is. So they're just made for speed. You know. Incoming. Again, sorry if I make you yawn. But yeah, they're gonna work together, they're gonna pass, like... And they're gonna... Yay, we passed, and, like... Sasuke is gonna be a little butt tight. Like, you know. He's gonna be butt tight. I don't even know what that means. Nope, never mind. Like, he's gonna be like, yay, we passed. Because, like, oh, nice, we passed. One step closer to killing Itachi. And that's pretty much how he is. You know. It's pretty much the same reactions as in Kanon. Yeah, I'm gonna make it pretty much the same as in Kanon for the reactions of passing. Like, I'd say they managed to do it in like 30 minutes. Like, and they weren't, and like, the team leaders and Hiruzen were not expecting Kakashi to get back so soon. Like, they passed in 30 minutes. Like, I'd like, yeah. And, first mission. No. Let's see here. I'd say that, yeah. And Naruto likes to hang out in the summon realm, but the summons, like, hey, you gotta spend time out in the main world, real world? No, whatever. In the human world, pretty much. Or the human realm, or whatever. And you gotta spend time there. Much as you don't like it, you're gonna have to be there. You know. And they're gonna be like, yeah. So, next day, Cat Ninja Cat mission, 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 mow yards, Ninja Cat mission, help old ladies cross the street, that's like all the D rank missions. Like the same thing, like Naruto's not really gonna care about the lower rank missions, but it's gonna be the same as in canon. And then no, Tazuna. Tazuna's gonna walk through the door like, yeah. He's gonna insult everyone. Like, he's gonna make fun of the three of them. Like, guys, like my team, like the whole. It's gonna be the same as in King, but he's not gonna call Naruto a runt. He'll just find something else to insult him on. So, yeah. And I'd say that the magpies were able to teach him a bit of genjutsu. Like, not much, but like they were able to teach him special. They were able to teach him magpie. Like the magpies, they really like to doing their own thing. So they're gonna have like their own thing they're gonna have things that only they know, and they like to keep it that way. Like, they're gonna be like, hey, he's probably gonna be our sage, and we're probably gonna teach him sage mode later on. So like, all that. And Naruto's gonna realize, hey, those two puddles shouldn't be there. And then he's gonna walk a bit ahead of the group, and he's just gonna jump up and just stomp down on one of the puddles. And that's gonna hurt the one. And whichever one of the brothers he hit, that's gonna hurt pretty hard. Like, that's like, even if it's just like 50 pounds falling a foot, that's directly onto your head and shoulders. Like, head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Like, no, that's like directly onto your head and shoulders. Like, that's gonna hurt. And especially since you weren't anticipating it, so you... Like, he's not gonna walk... He's only gonna walk, like, 5 feet ahead of the group. And, like, that's gonna happen. And then... And then what? Oh, Zabuza. They're gonna knock him out. And Naruto's gonna use a Corvid. He's gonna use a magpie genjutsu to just essentially just cover their entire vision with just feathers. It's like all they see are falling feathers, and they feel like there's a feather in their ear tickling them. Like, it doesn't tickle, but like that sound of a feather being tickled, like, it creates that sound. And these are not the razor feathers. This is a genjutsu. And there are tiny little paper cuts that appear on their Achilles tendons, like just tiny paper cuts, and then an X on their lip, and then an X on their neck, or like an X on each of the veins in the side of the neck. There's going to be a small X on each of those. And that's where that's going to be. And he's going to let one of them out of the genjutsu. Tell him, like, interrogate him. Like, I won't tell you anything. And then he's going to ask, how much do you care about your brother? Like, And that's gonna take the guy back. Like, so the moment that happens, Naruto's gonna just stab the other one in the leg. And then to make sure, and to try and make it so he doesn't, and he's gonna use like one of his feather ones, so like, or, no, he's not gonna stab him on the leg. He's just gonna use one of his feathers to cut drawings on, like he's gonna use one of his razor feathers to draw into the other brother. It's like, well, since you won't tell me information, I'll just have to ask your brother. Puts him back under Genjutsu. Ask the other one, does the same thing. And this goes on to, in the, like, alright, I'll tell you. Like, he tells, like, and then Tazuna's gonna be like, and then everyone's gonna, and, like, Kakashi's essentially just gonna give Tazuna the middle finger. Because, like, that's essentially what he does. And later on, Zabuza, like, but, like, and it's gonna turn, he's almost gonna hit Naruto, but the moment but a bit before it hits, he's gonna turn to feathers and teleport behind Zabuza, kicking him into the open. Like, Kakashi gonna, let me take care of this. Like, the whole thing, like, and the moment Naruto realizes that Kakashi is about to drown, he pulls out he's gonna use multiple feathers and use his, like, taijutsu, like he's gonna use the claw taijutsu, or the talon taijutsu, and he's just gonna, by using feathers, I'd say he can use it in two ways. He can either summon feathers, or he can do the red hot nails thing. So I'd say he doesn't keep his nails short. Like, they're not long, but they're not short. Like, and they're not female length long, but like, they're like haven't been cut in a week long. That's about where it's at. Like, his nails haven't been, he keeps them at about that length though. Just so it's not inconvenient in any way whatsoever. But it's also, like, going to be able to use it in battle with that whole thing. Because it just needs a tiny scrape. And it's going to hurt. Because even just touching someone with it, not even, it'll burn them. And then, and after that, it's gonna go, Haku's gonna go like, into Zabuza's neck, like, that thing's gonna happen. And Naruto's gonna do tree walking on the first try. He's gonna do water walking on the first try. And then he's gonna show them. He's also gonna use a special skill, and he's also gonna use a walking technique the magpies taught him, which is air walking. Yeah. Like, he can stand up to 10 feet above the air. Like, he can stand up to 10 feet off the ground or water. So, like, and eventually he'll be able to get 20, 30, but, like, right now he can only get 10 feet above the ground before he falls. Like, that's the max height he can walk up to. And it's kind of difficult as well. Like, he can make it up to 20 feet, but it is really difficult. Like he can make it to 15 feet, but it's difficult, so he just stays at 10 feet at the moment. So in a fight, he won't go above 10 feet. And he can also just use it to kick off of. Like if he's in the, that's what he can stand and walk on. Like if he's in the middle of the air, he can use it to kick off of. So like he can change his direction midair using this. Because like it's not beholden to which direction you're in. So it's kind of like being trapped. So it's kind of like being inside of a dome and using wall walking to just walk around it, like upside down, sideways, like it's kind of like that. But he can. There is no dome. It's just air that you can do that to. And up to those 10 feet, up to that 10 feet, he can essentially just go upside down. Like, he can pretty much fly up to 10 feet without using his wings. Like with his wings, he can go like he can go about as high as a human can without oxygen. Like he can go pretty high. The only thing stopping him from going into space is there's no air in space, so he couldn't come back down, and there's no air in space, so he couldn't breathe. Like he can go about as high as his body can handle without oxygen. With his wings on, with his feather wings, because like he can fly, and he can go higher than the average magpie. Like just because, no, like a normal not chakra, like there's the chakra magpies and then there's normal magpies. The normal magpies are like the ones in our world. Chakra are the chakra beast ones. It's like, because I'm just gonna make it like that. And I'd say he can. No, I'm not gonna do that. And the feathers he summons look like those on there. Like they look like the tail feathers on that. It's gonna be black and white body, like, and but his wings are gonna look like that. That's how his wings are gonna look. But the feathers he can just summon look like the tail wing feathers. And he's just gonna, and there. I wonder how that would. And he just goes out into the forest to train alone. So, like, he realizes that the other two kind of need help with this, but he doesn't want to help, so he's just gonna let Kakashi do that. Like he doesn't want to help him. He doesn't want to hinder him, but he doesn't want to help him. That's about where he's at. He's not gonna make it harder for them, but he's not gonna help. Yeah. I just repeated myself like 2 or 3 times. Oh boy. Anyway, then the Zabuza bridge fight, and this is where Naruto's gonna whip out his feather armor, because like he can essentially cover his body in feathers to make pretty much leather armor. Like that's the flexibility. It has the flexibility of Gambinson, but the strength of like chainmail. Like if you don't know what Gambinson is, then you gotta go look it up. And it's essentially just a bunch of padding. But padding for like, it's really thick and it can kind of stop cuts, but that's the amount of flexibility he gets from it. But I'd say it's about, no, it has the flexibility of chainmail, but without the weight. And it's going to have more protection than chainmail. It's going to have the protection of plate mail with the flexibility of chainmail. No. Protection of, like, of segmented armor, kind of like the Romans wore. The segmented plates. That's the protection it gives the protection of plate armor, but the flexibility of chainmail. And he creates a helmet, and it's essentially just it's essentially just it's essentially Loki's helmet, kind of, but the feathers feathers cover his entire head and cover up part of his face, and then two feathers just go straight, and then and then like three feathers stick straight up, or two or three feathers stick straight up, and these three feathers allow him to just kind of sense the vibrations in the air a bit better. They increase his hearing, but selectively. It's like if something gets too loud, he can make it so these things don't increase. Like the sound, like they only increase it if it's. They don't increase the sound. They increase the sound, like the vibrations, and he can like just kind of know where the vibrations are coming from. Like he can't use them to hear better, but he can like. This is where the sound's coming from, or the vibrations, or whatever, or the disturbances in the air, or water, like just whatever. That's how that's gonna work. And after that, I think I'm going to. He's gonna show his feather armor for the first time, and there's also gonna be feathers just coming off on his arms to kind of make mini blades on his arms, kind of like the Batman bracer gauntlet things, kind of like that. But they're feathers. But they're hard as steel. No, they're harder than steel. Like they're not as thick as steel, but they're harder and harder to break, and they're more flexible as well. They're more flexible than steel. They're stronger than steel, but they're thinner than steel as well. Like they can't get thick as steel. And there's something, and he is gonna use something new. He's gonna use his feather sword. And it's essentially gonna be a feather, a massive feather, but then all the things are gonna fall off, so it only leaves that center bit, and he's gonna use it like a rapier to stab. Like this is a stabbing weapon, and it's essentially and that's and that's kind of the way no. He's gonna throw the little things off of it towards Zabuza, essentially making so it's essentially just a bunch of sin bonds going directly towards him, and then after that, he's only gonna throw half of it. So like one side is like that, but the other side is a blade. No, he's gonna throw like half of one side, or a quarter of one of the sides, and he's gonna leave one side completely intact, but he's gonna leave the other side a quarter of the fletching, or like that, because like a feather, it has that bit in the middle, and it has the bits coming off of it. Like so, there's a bit in the. So he got rid of a quarter of the bits coming off on one side, not in general, just on one side. And then he just started throwing. So like in the middle of his sword fight with Zabuza, because like, I'm gonna make it so like Kakashi wasn't. So I'm gonna say that Kakashi got kind of, he twisted his ankle or just something dumb. So Naruto has to take over the. No, Naruto's not gonna fight Zabuza. He's gonna fight Haku, like in canon, but you know. And he's gonna use one half of his blade to just. He's gonna use half of his entire. He's gonna use like an entire side to just break all of the ice mirrors, and then still have the other side of the feather to use as a blade. And Haku's gonna be like, yeah, I can't use my ice mirrors on this guy. He will just destroy them. And they take a lot of energy to use, so I'm just not gonna do that. So he just tries to go on him normally, but like he's a pretty good swordsman. Like he knows the beak and the feather style of swordsmanship. The beak is the one that uses a lot of stabbing, and then there's the feather that uses slashes, and it uses, and the feather style uses a flowing, like it's not very jerky, it flows like almost as if you know what the target's, almost as if the blade knows what the opponent's going to do. That's about how it works. Like you don't actually know what they're going to do, but you can kind of like I need to attack like this so to anticipate their next move. And but once and you can also use the things on the other side of the sword to just kind of like his sword specifically he can do that with, like it's just a really big feather. And I'd say he can also make a feather shield if he wants to, so he can go full on medieval knight on someone. Like the samurais, like yes, screw the samurais, I got a shield. So beat that. Also, my armor's better than you guys, so come at me. Like, And I'm sorry if the audio isn't as good, and I'm sorry if I just kind of just talk, the volume fades away at certain points. Like, I don't intend to do that. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to do the exact opposite, but, I'm not. My headphones were about to run out of battery. So I couldn't record audio with those. So I just have to settle with my phone and stand in one spot. Just facing forward, but I'm not very good at that. So, yeah. And, I did it again. Yeah, but yeah, I'm sorry guys if I've been doing that. Like, I might be able to, the next part will be better. But yeah, he's gonna win against Haku without needing to use the Ninetales chakra. So I'm making him significantly stronger, but I'm not making him OP. Like I said. So that's how that's gonna go. And everything is the same after that. Like, no, Haku jumps in front of the Chidori. Like, all of that happens. And, everything the same goes for all of that stuff. And, Gato still shows up. Like, all that goes the same. They return to the village and, like Kakashi tells him about the tuning exams and that they've been nominated. And that, he tells him about it, like, they're coming up soon. And, yeah, that's pretty much what happens there. Do I have enough time to start with the tuning exams? I don't think I do. I'd say, alright, so, I can cover this. Alright, so the Huck, can't remember his name. Lord Third's grandson, him, and that guy and Gar's brother. Huh. Huh. Um. Yes, that's gonna happen. Pretty much the same. And then on to the tuning exams. I will see you guys next time. Since this video has lasted an hour now, I will see you guys in the next one. This has been What If Dean, signing out.